What if Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen were to play in today's NBA? Would they be NBA champions? Well, with NBA 2K16 today, we're going to find out how they will fare in the modern association. Now, let's begin with the setup. So the file I've created is called SamFamBoost. If you guys want to try it, I did upload it so you can try it yourself to see if you can do better than I did. As for the roster, we will be using the 88-89 boost. So it will be a 79 rated Scottie Pippen and a 96 rated Michael Jordan. I'll be inserting these players to the modern boost. So we'll be removing Pau Gasol and Jimmy Butler permanently away from the league to, get in Jordan and Pippen. Now, the trade negotiation difficulty has been turned up to the highest in this My League file, and so has the contract negotiation. The gameplay difficulty will be, of course, in Hall of Fame Sim. So that is the setup. And let's begin with the trades. Now, first things first, Derrick Rose is the point guard of the team, but the direction I'm heading is that I am planning to put Scottie Pippen as point guard. He is a de facto point forward, and obviously he cannot shoot alongside with MJ, who can't shoot free, so pretty much one of them needs to have the ball while the other one is moving around. So Scottie Pippen has to be the point guard, and I'm going to make him the point guard because, the NBA has turned into a point where point guard is an elite position, so I need Scottie to defend all of the point guards. So with that done, that makes Derrick Rose completely expendable, so we'll be trading him alongside Bobby Portis and a first round pick. Because the trade negotiation difficulty is turned up to so high, I need to give away a lot just to get rid of Rose, which is actually a good thing. So you can see most of the deals are pretty bad here. But this is what happens when you crank up the difficulty on the trade negotiation. I suggest you do that and makes the game more realistic and more challenging. So the only decent deal I got was the Monte and George Hill. I don't really want to use Monte and George Hill, but I do plan to maybe trade them away later, so I took the deal as it was set, gave up the pick, and off we go. With that in, I also plan to get rid of McDermott and Joakim Noah, because I want more two-way wing players, and I need centers who can finish. Noah, great defender but cannot, so the only good deal I got was this one, where we're able to get Evan Fournier, CJ Watson for McDermott, Noah, and 3 second-round picks. I personally really like Fournier as my sixth man, so that's why I want to pick him up. He's offense first, but that's actually okay, because with Scottie and MJ around, they'll make up for whatever defensive deficiency there will be coming from Mr. Fournier. So this trade is also done. Next up, we will be moving Monte alongside, I'm hoping to get a bigger wing, a starting wing that can shoot. We need to find a lot of shooting because MJ and Scottie can't, so we need to surround them with shooting. Thank goodness Mirotic was there as our stretch 4. But to get rid of Monte, we'll also be giving up the Kings first round pick. We didn't get any deals that were too good at the beginning, but there was one that's kind of awesome. We were able to get Chris Middleton, but for 2 first round picks, the Kings pick and our own pick for Middleton and Miles Plumlee. Like I said, harder trade negotiation difficulty, but this is worth it in my mind because Middleton will fit along great beside MJ and Scottie. So this is a done deal. And with this, we're short a couple of picks, so I've also decided to get rid of George Hill and Miles Plumlee, hopefully to upgrade so I can get a starting caliber center next to Mirotic. Mirotic needs to be there because of his ability to stretch the floor, but if you play Mirotic, you gotta play a pretty good defensive center alongside him to have any hope to survive. So we still have 2 first round picks left. I'm gonna get rid of that too. And we're able to actually get a Bayless and Hansen. There were other deals, but you can't really beat the Hansen and Bayless deal, I feel, because you get Hansen, who's a great defender, and Bayless, who is a score-first point guard. So that's good to have coming off the bench. So I took the deal as is, and we now only have 1 first-round pick left. I don't really mind the picks too much. I do have Scottie and MJ, so we're going to become a contender. That's why I did it. And the final trade of the day, I traded CJ Watson, Ejuan Moore, and Mike Dunleavy just for Tyson Chandler. He's a terrible contract, but I need a defensive center to back up Hansen. Hopefully I can get rid of Chandler later, but I will need him for now alongside Taj, Hansen, Mirotic, yeah, that's my big four big man combo, so I think that's pretty good. So in the end, the rotation is as such. You can see Pippen is starting at point guard, Jordan at 2 guard, Middleton at the 3, Mirotic at the 4, so that's a lot of shooting coming from the small forward and power forward position. Henson is the designated diving big man who can D alongside Mirotic. Bayless off the bench, that's gonna be our 6th man, alongside Fournier, who's kind of like a 7th man. These two guys are mostly offense, which is fine. Like I said, Pippen and Jordan will do most of the defense alongside with Middleton. We also got Taj as the backup power forward and center, and Tyson Chandler as the backup center. So that is the rotation. This is the style we're gonna play. And well, actually, let's focus on the game plan and the specific style we will be playing. We're going to be running plays 99% of the time as we simulate, because I'll be running my own playbook. Bench utilization not too high because we don't have a really deep bench. But lineup performance factor all the way up because I do plan to use MJ and Scottie like crazy, so I want the best players to stay in the game if they're performing well. When I say that, I mean MJ. So we'll be using the Nuggets playbook, which is kind of stretchy and at the same time good for superstars. So our first scoring option will be Michael Jordan. Focus will be play through stars, so MJ 24/7. Patient offense, so we can sneak in some defense, have MJ not play too fast, so we can swing the game our way by playing a slow tempo style with a superstar. And we will be playing physical defense because we got great perimeter defenders on the outside. And one more thing, actually, we will be making Bayless our second scoring option, just so when he comes off the bench, he doesn't play too much, about 21 minutes a game, but when he comes on, I do want him to do all the scoring. And in terms of the assigned play setup, it will be as such, as you can see here. Pick and roll ball handler and low post with Pippen, no 3-point plays with them. This is a slightly customized playbook, mostly using the Denver plays. I know I am simulating, and I plan to play maybe 1 or 2 games, but sometimes I just feel if you have the better plays in the playbook, that makes sense. Your players end up performing better. Probably not true, because you're simulating. I don't think the AI takes that into account, but I like game planning. So with people like Middleton and Mirotic, they will be getting the 3-point pick and roll ball handler and the post up low. And Mirotic will not be pick and roll man, because if you set him to pick and roll man, he won't stay outside. He will set the picks for the pick and roll plays. So make sure your stretch will never get pick and roll man plays, but your diving center does, as you can see here. So that is the game plan. And now we'll move on to year 1, and we'll take a look at the first 2 months, the first 60 days. And we started off awesome, I must say, in the first 2 months. And you will see, we were able to take down many good teams. We took a first L there, and then we didn't look back. Like, we went on a tear after that loss to Detroit, my goodness. And we beat Brooklyn and OKC and Cleveland. And after the first 60 days, we were 25-5, so that's pretty awesome. So let's take a look at the team stats specifically on how we did. Now, when I check team stats when I play my league, I don't look at these general stats. These don't tell much, right? You want to click triangle here. As you can see, I click triangle once, I click triangle again. I get advanced stats. These are the stats you want to look at. Remember, I'm playing a patient offense, right? So I'm not going to score a lot of points by the numbers, but what I do care about is the offensive rating and the efficiency of my offense and my defense. And as you can see, even though we're not scoring a lot of points overall, we do have a top 3 offensive rating. Offense, which is a great sign. Any championship team needs a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense. We are even better. We have a top 3 offense, and we have the number 1 defense in the league. So we're for real. When I check the stats like this, when I check these advanced stats, I know if I have a good team on my hands. Looking at overall points and how many overall points you give up, they mean nothing. You want to check offensive ratings. As you can see at the end too, we're the least turnover prone team. So top 5 defense, number 1 defense, top 3 offense, and we're the least turnover prone. Yeah, this is a contender, so we're ready to roll. But there is concern. When you're a contender, you want to be concerned about your bench. So I looked at the bench. Jordan's been playing great. Like, as you can see, like, we don't score a lot of points. This is what I meant when you check stats. Don't check overall points. Make sure you be checking ratings. And you can see double-double. Nobody has a double-double, but Pippen and Jordan has a lot of assists and rebounds all together, especially Jordan, who is going 8-8 alongside 26 points, high field goal percentage. Fournier is not doing too good, while Bayless is doing decent off the bench, so I was a little bit concerned about the performance of Fournier. Because remember, I had these 2 guys, Pippen, Fournier, and Bayless. they're all going to be free agents later. Fournier and Bayless worries me the most because they might actually leave, and I need to keep both because they are my off-the-bench scoring guys. Fournier I can probably keep with the bird rights, Bayless not very sure, so down the line it's probably better for me to invest more in Fournier. So I had decided to take the scoring role off Bayless in case he doesn't resign, and I changed it to Fournier to see how he performs, and if he plays good, I'll make him the 6th man. So in the next 30 days, this is pretty much a test to see how Fournier performs as a, bench 6 guy, because I know the starters are great. And we were able to do very well. We went from 25-5 to 40-8, so it's only 3 losses with another 15 extra wins. And after the next 30 days was over, I had decided to, look at it into detail. And Fournier, so he was a leading 6th man starting in January, right? So I scroll all the way down to his recent games to check how he played since January until the middle of February, and you can see double-figure scoring, not a lot of minutes, decent percentages, not too many turnovers, sometimes he gets them, but he is consistently cracking double digits and sometimes stays in it for a long time. He does have cold games, that's expected, but decent. Now the important thing though is to see how Bayless plays now, because he's no longer being, utilized as the leading 6th man. He's not the primary, secondary scoring option. Now before, I was looking at November here to see how he performed as the primary 6th man. He did really good, I must say. High turnover though, but he scored consistently. But I'm more concerned about how he does after January, because after January, Fournier was the leading figure off the bench, and Bayless still played okay, while Fournier played a lot better. So I'm gonna go with this setup permanently. As you can see, Bayless has many double-digit games alongside Fournier as the leading figure, so this is my bench combination now. Fournier is gonna be the leading option, while Bayless is gonna handle the ball into his fang, since he scores regardless apparently. So over there we check the standings. The season's got 2 months left and we are blowing the league away. We're gonna be number 1 seed in the East for sure, so not much concern there. Jordan and Pippen still good, even like the not so super version of Pippen. So the last 60 days, the last 2 months of the season, I simmed it also, and we went from 44-8 to pretty damn good. As you can see, so we performed very well again. We go on long win streaks, high team chemistry. Sometimes we lose, but so we're not like all-time great team though, right? Like we're not 72-10 or 73-9. But this is not super Pippen, right? This is like 79 rated Pippen. I think once I moved into point guard, he was 75. But as you can see, afterwards we finished the season with a record of 68-14. So that's pretty sweet. So we built a pretty good team for Pippen and Jordan to play in the modern era. And let's take a look at the 2016 regular season awards. MVP for some reason was not MJ, but KD did go 29, 9, and 9, so that's insane. These are insane numbers, so maybe give it to him. I mean, 29.1, 9 rebound and 9, that's insane. 6th man was Joakim Noah, who we traded away, so that's kind of that sucks. Defensive player of the year was DJ. We did got coach of the year, and first team All-NBA was not Jordan. Curry took his spot. So I was a little bit upset with this. I mean, we're the best team in the NBA, and Jordan only got, 2nd team All-NBA. I mean, he didn't average that many points, but that's because I purposely played in a slow pace. I mean, he got 24, 8, and 8, shooting 50%, 57%, and like 80% free throws. No free ball those, but you can see like he's a two-way guy. Look at his field goal against stats. Like he's a lockup. Look at this. This is him playing defense. Like no one scores on MJ. Curry, on the other hand, if you look at his stats, like he's crazy on offense as expected, but he was 27, 6, and 8. I don't know. I wish I did it, but it doesn't matter. All defensive first team, of course, it was MJ, and our young Scottie Pippen was able to be all defensive second team. So as he gets older and better, remember, this Scottie Pippen is only 77 rated because he's only 23 years old here. So down the line, this is gonna get a lot better for us. They're gonna lock up first team all defense for both of them for many, many years to come. So we're gonna head to the 2016 playoffs, and since we're the first seed, we will be playing the Detroit Pistons, so that's kind of realistic if you think about it. So because it is the playoffs, we will be changing the rotation, extra minutes for both Pippen and MJ, and lesser minutes for Bayless and Fournier. The bigs, they can stay the same, maybe a little bit more minutes for Chandler, but I do plan to have Scottie and MJ play about 40 minutes each game for both games. So less minutes for Fournier and Bayless, which is always a good thing. So that is our playoff numbers with the minutes. And for the first 2 rounds, we blew the league away. We went 8-0 against Detroit and Boston, and we will be facing the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals. So that's crazy exciting. And if you look at the stats, these are playoff stats. I mean, everyone's playing crazy. Everyone is hot playing. Great Bayless is hot too. Damn. Tyson Chandler is also. We're managing the rotation well, and this team does gel together from a simulation point of view because I haven't used them yet. But if you take a look at the stats, MJ is amazing. He's 98 now. Middleton is cranked up at 83. And if you look at MJ's 8 playoff games, the most recent 8 playoff games, look at these stats. He had one game where he had 21 rebounds. This one, yeah. 39, 21, and 7. Like, what is that? Like, what? And he played 45 minutes too, so like I don't think MJ ever tires. Got a triple-double, consistency is great, low turnover, high shooting percentage. He is definitely the GOAT, and even in his skill set fits in great in today's NBA, as you can see. I mean, this is Hall of Fame sim difficulty. So to end the show, I will be playing Chicago and Cleveland myself for one game in the next video, and I'll also show you guys if our Bulls can do it, if they can win the championship from the get-go. I just gotta play this. MJ versus LeBron. I gotta do this game. So this will be the gameplay for the next video, and we'll also end with the conclusion of if our Bulls is gonna, win the championship in the first year, or if they can repeat. So if you enjoyed this series, add a like, and if you want to see other ones where I'm doing these kind of what-if rebuilding scenarios, I guess this is what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna use old school players, usually a duo or a trio, and see if I can build them a team in the modern era for them to succeed in. So we start out with MJ and Scottie, and we found great success. So next game, we're gonna finish the series and see if they can win how many championships Jordan and Scottie can win, and I will also show you gameplay of MJ versus LeBron played by Sam. Alright family, thanks for coming by. If you enjoyed this, add a like, let me know what else you want to see along this format, and I'll see all of you next time.